What's going on, guys? This is Michael with Boz Reptiles. Today we are going to give you 3 ways to make you a successful reptile breeder. Alright, so on your reptile journey, you want to make sure you're going to be doing these 3 things to make yourself successful. The first thing is going to be take it slow. It's really easy to get out there and go to expos and events and to dive in and get way too deep too quickly. So what I would advise you to do is get your feet wet, do your research, buy one ball python, get familiar and grow incrementally, steadily as you're learning. You want to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. You want to make sure that you're taking your finances into account, and you want to make sure that you aren't overdoing it, because the last thing we want to see you guys do is burn yourselves out. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We'd rather see you guys come up in the hobby and stay in the hobby over the long term than get in too deep and have to force yourself out. So that would be tip number 1, is take it slow. You want to get yourself, if you are going to be breeding, you definitely want to focus on your females. So don't come in and just buy up everything you see that looks cool, and before you know it, you have way too many snakes for what you can handle. You do have to take into account things like the overhead costs. Now, whether you're using tanks, tubs, racks, what have you, you are going to have to house the animal. You have to take into account feeding. Every single week you will have to feed, whether you're going to do frozen thawed or live. You have to take into account your expenditures, such as your electricity bill, replacing substrate, giving the animal whatever it happens to need. Initially, your overhead costs are things like your heat mat, your tank, your heat lamp, your substrate, your hides, your water bowl, your thermostat, your thermometer, and your hydrometer. Make sure you can afford and have the time to devote to your animal before you go buying up all the snakes. So tip number 2. First tip is taking it slow. Second tip, I would say, is plan out what you want to do. So for somebody who's going to be a breeder, obviously you wouldn't go out and just buy all males, right? Because then you wouldn't be able to have any babies. So what you want to do is take out a pad of paper and a pen and systematically think about your purchases before you make them. Be very conscientious. What are you planning on doing with this snake? Say you have a female pinstripe. What are you going to pair with her? Now, one thing you can take into account is you can have one male impregnate many females. So if you bought, let's just say, 1 male and 9 females, you'd have 10 snakes. And you could have 9 different clutches, even though you only have 1 male. Now, is that necessarily the best route to go? Not necessarily, but it's something to keep in mind. So even if you wanted to do 3 males and 6 females, you could pair each male to 3 different females. You see where I'm going with this? So you have to make sure you're carefully planning your purchases, not only to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed, but to make sure you're planning your breeding projects strategically and intelligently. Tip number 3, go out and have fun. When you go to your events, meet new people, take it all in. Take time to look at the lizards, look at the turtles, look at the frogs, even look at the mice and the rat feeding exhibits. Look at the entire event. Don't just rush around trying to find whatever it is you're looking for. Make sure you take it all in and meet new people, talk to people, make friends, enjoy your time. The last thing we want to see is you guys go there and for it to become a chore, or for it to become not fun anymore. We don't want to see you guys lose that spark and lose that curiosity and interest. Make sure you're keeping it fun. Make sure you're not taking it too overly seriously. So when you go out to events, make friends, spend time at exhibits, walk around, and just enjoy the moment. Take some time to stop and smell the roses while you're there, and enjoy each and every event you go to. All right? So that's gonna be my 3 tips for today. I hope that's helpful for you guys. If you feel it's helpful, go ahead and make a comment below, like the video, and subscribe. Be sure to share with all your friends. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.